In this video, we're going to talk about the skill of athleticism, why Kobe Bryant is the king of a growth mindset, and why now is the best time in history to be an athlete, a coach, or involved in sports. Let's get it. A skill is a developed aptitude or ability. And one of the areas that we've not given this label of skill is athleticism. We've always just chalked it up to talent or genetics. We've never looked at it as a skill. We've never broken down how someone navigates up and down the floor or the field. We've always just chalked it up to they've got it, I don't, and there's nothing I can do. But athleticism is a skill. The way you move, the way you run, the way you jump, the way you react, these are all things that can be trained. They can be added into your skill stack. Let's look at volleyball. What makes up volleyball? What are the components of volleyball? Hitting, passing, setting, serving, spiking, the volleyball skills, the sport-specific skills of volleyball. But what most people don't realize is there's a level below that skill set. And that skill set involves moving, reacting, jumping, running, hand-eye coordination, balance, body control, coordination, lateral movement ability. I could go on, but this layer is hidden. Most people don't understand it. Most people don't see it. But it actually is what is happening on the court way more often than hitting, setting, passing. And yet those are the skills that are put on a pedestal and are trained over and over and over again. So first and foremost, you have to understand that athleticism is a skill. Kobe Bryant was the king of growth mindset. He learned from a very young age, and he was very aware of the idea that he could increase his potential, that through skill acquisition, by gathering new skills, he could actually make himself better.
I think that's when the idea of understanding a long-term view became important, because I wasn't going to catch these kids in a week. I wasn't going to catch them in a year, right? So that's when I sat down and said, okay, this is going to take some thought, right? What do I want to work on first? All right, shooting. All right, let's knock this out. Let's focus on this. Half a year, 6 months, do nothing but shoot. All right, after that, all right, creating your own shot. And then you focus. So I started creating a menu of things. When I came back the next summer, I was a little bit better. But it's simple. Like if you do the math on this, right? Like if you're thinking about how often kids are playing, right? And I tell this to my daughter and my daughter's team as well that I coach. So it's a simple thing of math. If you want to be a great player, if you play every single day, 2-3 hours, every single day, over the course of a year, how much better are you getting? Most kids will play maybe, an hour and a half, 2 days a week.
Right.
Do the math on that. It's not going to get it done.
A lot of players don't learn this concept, as simple as that sounds. But Kobe Bryant has had a huge impact on players in the NBA. Most of the top players today were impacted by how he developed himself, how he trained himself, at what level he was taking things to. And most of that was because of his growth mindset. In her book, Mindset, Carol Dweck, who's a Stanford professor, goes through a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset. And she talks about the importance of understanding that you can grow, that you can actually make yourself better, that you can get smarter, and in our terms, you can get more athletic, versus a fixed mindset where you just believe in talent and see things really as static and unmoving. You get what you get. See, Kobe understood that this is really just about getting your reps in, that this is really just about putting in the work and training the skills to make yourself better. And he knew that if he did that more than everyone else, especially when they didn't even understand that they could do it, he would become the best player in the NBA, and we all know what happened. But even Kobe didn't understand that athleticism as a whole could really be increased. You'll hear him talk about this in this interview.
Quickness, I was quick, but not insanely quick. I was fast, but not ridiculously fast, right? So I had to rely on skill a lot more. I had to rely on angles a lot more. I had to study the game a a lot more.
It's only recently that we're starting to understand that you can increase your vertical, you can increase your quickness and your speed and your reaction times. And a lot of this is coming about because of technology. But we do know that you have to have a growth mindset in terms of athleticism. You have to understand that you can get better at these things, that it's not a static and a fixed piece. I think it's safe to say that technology over the last 10, 20 years has grown exponentially. And it's putting new variables in our hands. We understand, you look at Steph Curry and his shooting, and it's hard to even fathom how someone could be that good. But the understanding of the game, the understanding of the human body and how our mind works, everything's going to a whole new level. So sports and how we play them and how we approach them and how we train and prepare for them, all of these things are going to a whole new level. So understand, athleticism is a skill. It is trainable. But you have to look at it as a skill and not some mystical creature like a unicorn that kisses little babies on the forehead and magically gives them these powers. It's just not how it works. There's a lot of factors behind that, but just know it is something that can be acquired. It's a skill that can be trained. So if you like the video, leave us a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel because we're going to be dropping more and more videos just like this, talking about athleticism and how to make yourself better. And until then, we'll catch you on the next video.